Well, hello again. My name is Brad Garrett, President of the Marshall Area Chamber of Commerce, and welcome to the November episode of Community Connect, brought to you by the Marshall Area Chamber of Commerce. This month's guest is Tara Plante, who is the Marketing and Development Director for Prairie Home Hospice. And thank you for being here, Tara.
Thank you for having me.
So obviously we want to talk about the main part of our episode today will be the Light Up the Night event that's sponsored mostly by the Prairie Home Hospice. But let's talk about a little bit what happened in October before we get to November. So October, we had another busy month. And I say that every single month, and we have a lot of activities in Marshall every single month. And we kicked off with SMSU Homecoming. It wasn't the greatest weather, but it was still a really good event. The parade went well, a lot of activities, the football, the game, the gala was a fun event. And that same weekend, we had the Marshall Gun Show. The Marshall Gun Show was held at the Red Baron Arena. Once again, one more thing at the Red Baron Arena, which is good to see. We had over 1,250 attendees at the Marshall Gun Show this year, vendors from throughout the state, and they were already getting signups for next year's gun show, which is also great to see. The EDA bus tour, we had 120 attendees on our tour this year. It was brought to you by the Economic Development Authority, which is based out of our office. We had 3 times. We had a 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. And the nice thing about the EDA bus tour, it opens up the eyes for people that just go from home to work. So it was good to see. It was good for them to see all the economic development activity that's going on through the city of Marshall, including housing, of course, the bus garage that went back up, Hobby Lobby, and Ashley Furniture. A lot of things going on in Marshall over this past year. Also concluded was the Farmers Market. Farmers Market goes for 4 months. It goes from the first weekend in July to the last weekend of October. And with some dedicated people that are come out there every single Saturday morning to showcase what they have at the Farmers Market, which is held between the YMCA and the Schwans, the parking lot between Schwans and the YMCA. A couple of weekends ago, our first ever haunted tower out at the Merit Center brought in over 1,000 attendees. It's something obviously that the city marshal was needing. Tara, I don't know if you went out there with any of your family members, but it was a great event.
I dropped the kiddos off and they enjoyed it. They loved it.
Yeah. Long
great.
lines.
Yes. They said it was worth it.
Yes. I mean, it was a $3 per person, and it was 5 floors. The SMSU theater department where the actors and actresses, and you just went level to level to level to level. It's supposed to get scarier as you go higher, and it was a good time. And I think there's a lot of room for growth at this. There's all sorts of fields there. There's a lot of room for growth when it comes to the.
It's a great idea. I think people have been asking a lot for something like that for a while, so I hope it continues for sure.
Right. The closest other haunted areas, I know that Redwood Falls has something, and Montevideo used to have something, so it was good to see. Very brilliant move by my coworker Lauren at this Convention and Visitors Bureau. So the last thing I want to kind of recap for October was our Taste of Marshall. And our Taste of Marshall was just held last Monday, October 28th, right here on campus. We had a record attendance, 427 attendees and 19 vendors, which were restaurants. And then we also gave out 5 awards. And I wanted to kind of highlight those award winners here today. Our volunteer of the year was Eric Eben with Hoffman and Burroughs. Eric is a key leader in the community. He's the first 2-time winner of this award through the Marshall Chamber as a volunteer of the year. Last year, our nonprofit of the year was actually Prairie Home Hospice, and that was the first time we've ever given out nonprofit of the year. But this year, it was United Community Action Partnership, and UCAP plays a really important role in the region, not only in Marshall but the 9-county region. Tara, do you have much involvement with UCAP?
We try to help them out when we can, and we visit there twice a year. I think they're an incredible program. Yeah, right. We're so lucky to have them.
Yeah. And Nancy, the former executive director, who still plays a role in UCAP, was there with her family. It was excited to see. Our All-Star of the Year, and a much-deserved All-Star of the Year, was Bruce Lamprecht, formerly with the Marshall Public Schools. And Bruce has been a staple in this community and at Marshall Public Schools for 25 years. It's exciting for me because none of the award winners know that they're winning. So it's exciting to me and our staff and our board to see his surprised look as he comes up to accept his award. Our Rookie of the Year was Alan Griebel with Reinhardt Food Service, and Alan is sits on our Women's Connect committee, and she just has really dug in her heels as a new member with the Marshall Chamber. And of course, our last award was the Business of the Year, which is the Walnut Grove Mercantile. Walnut Grove Mercantile has been in business for many, many years, but it is certainly a staple in the community, and everybody loves their fudge. They've done a lot of good work, and they've added a lot to the community, and they're very community focused. They do a lot of things right here on campus. So it's good to see our award winners, and thank you for everybody that came out. And so with that, the main focus of our program today is going to be talking with Tara to talk about Light Up the Night, which starts on November 29th, which is Black Friday, and it's Black Friday the last couple of years. So it's at Independence Park. First year was here on campus. The last year and this year will be at Independence Park. Tara, how many volunteers does it take to decorate the park for Light Up the Night?
Well, we typically start decorating. We usually start in November, and that didn't really work out for us. So we started early this year in October. We decorate typically every Wednesday and Sunday night until daylight savings hits, and it gets darker a little earlier. So we do Wednesday afternoons and Sunday nights, but it takes upwards of anywhere from 300 to 400 volunteers probably for 2 months. An incredible amount of work. And even, the groups that come out just 20 minutes at a time or an hour at a time, you can get a lot done with a lot of hands. So super helpful. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's the first week of November now. Are you still looking for more volunteers to get this done?
We are. Even though we started decorating early in October, we probably only have 60, maybe 70% of the park done. A lot of those big high trees we let the city work with and the fire department, but there's still a lot of little stuff that needs to be done. So still every Wednesday and Sunday until that week up into the event in case we can hang more lights.
Sure. I know our Women's Connect group through the chamber is coming to help decorate, but how else do other volunteers or groups, how do they sign up to do this? Well,
we have a tremendous committee that we work with, probably 12 or 15 individuals throughout the community that help us just get everything you sign up for is in Sign Up Genius, the sign up links. They're on our website, on our Facebook page. We have a separate Light Up the Night Facebook page this year. And simply, some people aren't okay with the technology and signing up for those things. So you can just simply call our office if you have a group. We have a ton of small groups. Kiwanis helps, Rotary, a lot of the SMSU clubs and athletics help. A lot of church groups help. So there's a number of ways you can sign up. Like I said, just call us, go to our website or Facebook page, and those sign up links are right there. Mm-hmm.
The kickoff to Christmas every year, it seems like it's right after the day of Thanksgiving, although based on some people you might see some Christmas lights up in their neighborhood already, and they get their shopping done a lot sooner. However, with Light Up the Night, it kicks off, on, like I said earlier, on Black Friday, November 29th. Tell me more about that particular evening, and what type of things do you have scheduled for the Light Up the Night this year?
Well, we debate about starting that weekend every year, and we just figure, everyone pretty much from Halloween and on is just crazy, crazy busy. So we do want to take advantage of Black Friday and try to help our downtown businesses promote that, local shopping and local eating. And we really want to just start the event off with a bang, go downtown, shop, take in a meal. We're going to have a light parade again this year that's going to go all the way down to the park. But we're hoping people, come early downtown, get all your shopping done, take in the park. We have our Light to Remember in Memorial Park right there, and then head to the park for fireworks and all the events we have planned at Independence Park, and then come back down and eat and enjoy the night. So really want to do something to promote the town that first night for sure, because this event started as a community event, to bring people into town and have them enjoy the amenities of Marshall and get ready for the holiday season together with your friends and family and just really celebrate it.
How many, so you mentioned the parade, and last year we really lucked out with the parade. It was actually pretty decent weather for that time of the year, probably like 35, 40 degrees. How many parade entries were there last year, and how many expect to grow that to that number this year?
Yeah, we were super lucky last year. I'm knocking on wood all over the place that it's another 35, 40 degree day because a 20, 30 minute parade is pretty perfect for that weather. We ended up with 30 last year, and we already have 30 for this year. We did have the majority of our entries actually come in the last 2 weeks, so we're really hoping to get up to 45, 50.
Good.
I know it's a holiday weekend, so it's kind of hard for some people, but we're really hoping to, like I said, make it long enough so it was packed downtown last year. So if we spread it out all the way to the park, 50 units, and the weather stays nice, we're praying it'll go over well.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And if a business or organization wants to get involved with the parade, they call your office, or how do they get signed up?
Yeah, anything, they can go on our website, our Facebook page again, or they just call the office, and Karen or Cassie or I are more than happy to help get you signed up and get you all the details for the parade.
Great.
Yeah.
You mentioned Facebook page a couple of times. I would imagine that's your biggest pathway to promote this.
It is.
Event.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is a free will donation event. So every weekend that you come out, it's really we just ask for free will donations. Nothing really costs money. We have a family that donates the free hot chocolate. We have a business that donates the free hot cider and the cups. So really, if you want to attend and not spend any money, you really don't have to. There are obviously extra purchases you can make. But it being a free will donation event, we don't really have any marketing dollars. So the majority of our marketing is done through social media. Right. Yeah. Anything you need to know about the calendar of events, or if we're going to have the lights on or not, or weather permitting, will all be on that Facebook page or our website.
So this is the kind of event that brings people to town. If you're familiar with Light Up the Night type of programs in other communities, droves of people coming into town for this. So if you see this on your Facebook wall or whatever social media, share it, because it's a good thing for the community. It brings people to town. Tara, who has supported you this program the most, and in what way?
Well, like every event we do, we have so much community support. But essentially for this event, the Chamber of Commerce and the CVB, the City of Marshall has been instrumental in getting it, one, off the ground, and two, every year that we do it, they just add more help and funds, and we're just could be more, appreciative of that. We couldn't do it without it, for sure. Like I said, the fire department helps so much with volunteers for the parade, and the police department. It takes a village, and a huge village. We couldn't do it without it. Our promotional booklet that we print and distribute over 3,000 of, from the printing at Henley's to everyone that pays to get in the booklet. I mean, it just pays for the lights and all the equipment, which is an astronomical amount. You really couldn't believe how many lights it takes to go up those big trees, and the cords. But like I said, it takes a huge village, a lot of volunteers, a lot of money, a lot of, just support from the city.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've kind of touched on my next question a couple of times, Tara, but how can the Marshall area, families, individuals, and business support this event to make sure it happens year after year?
Well, as you mentioned, we did kind of come up with this idea from the Bentleyville in Duluth and the Mankato Light Show, Kiwanis Light Show. I know Sioux Falls Park does one. We did want to start out small, and all those shows started out very small as well. And then grow, hopefully in 5 or 10 years, we can kind of be at that level. And we understand that people, funds are short during the holidays. You don't have a lot of extra money. But if you just attend the event, share the things on social media, and it gets more people to come and drop $1, volunteer an hour when you can. Just every little bit helps, because if you have, 1,000 people drop $1 or volunteer an hour as opposed to 200, it's a big difference.
Sure.
Yep, tell people about the event, invite your friends and families that either live here or don't live here, and yeah, just word of mouth is always the best advertising.
Absolutely.
You enjoy it.
Absolutely. So your estimated amount of people, how many people do you think, I know it's a big guess, how many people do you think come through every year?
It is a big guess. We try to do the tracker and just count cars and average 3 to 5 people per car. The first year we did it here at SMSU, you could drive through. So we did guesstimate about 1,500 cars. That was easier because it was pretty much just cars. A lot of people didn't get out and walk. But with the park, you have to get out and walk or ride the trolley, and it was a little harder to track, but we thought we doubled last year. So we had about 3,000. So for this year, we'd love to have 5,000 people come through. That's our goal.
Yeah, very exciting. And anything else you'd like to share, Tara, on the event?
There's so many aspects of it, but again, just appreciation for all the support that we get and the kind words we hear when everyone's out there and enjoy the lights, and people that even live next to the park just really, we'd be hanging up lights and cords, and can I help? And thank you so much for doing this, and it's a really great amenity for our town. And it really was an event. It is a fundraiser for us, so we hope it will be someday. We've invested a lot into it the first 3 years. But it really was intended to bring people to this community and see how fantastic it is, and maybe buy a house here, at least come shop and eat here. So we just really hope you come out and make it a family tradition every year for your friends and family.
Sure. And Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, obviously the lights will be lit up, but
yes.
But no activities. Anything after that? Is it shorter this year?
No, we actually have one extra weekend this year. And we do promotions and events every weekend. So every weekend there's something different. There's activities for the kids. Santa comes out. We have live nativity with Holy Redeemer. We partner with them on the event, and they help us in so many ways, getting volunteers. So just come out and see new things every weekend. We're trying to add more every year. But yeah.
Well, good. Thanks again, Tara, and appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So let's talk about what else is going on in the community in November. Obviously, Light Up the Night is a integral. It kicks off November, but you'll mostly be in December. But a few other things that to look forward to. And I'm going to highlight something that we're all excited for in Marshall, but it isn't going to happen here, and that would be the Marshall volleyball team. It's going to be going to St. Paul for the record-setting 27th time to state tournament this weekend.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and Marshall has an amazing volleyball system, and it was created by Coach Terry Culhane. Coach Westby was one of somebody that he coached with. Now we get both of them. Now we get Coach Westby at the high school, and we get Coach Culhane here on campus. And yeah, it is. It's never a dull moment. It's exciting. I've been to a few of them when I actually lived in the cities, and I've gone there a few times since I've been back here. And you can't beat that energy. And I've been told this a few times that we have the best student fan section at these games like ever. And
hands down.
Yeah. It is. and they have their own Twitter page. They come with themes. It is a pretty fun. If nothing else, it's the entertainment value of watching those kids on the sidelines.
For sure.
So also this upcoming weekend, this is a big destination for deer hunting. So we expect a lot of deer hunters to come in town for the opener this weekend. There's also a theater performance called Anne of Green Gables here on campus. There's a pub crawl in downtown Marshall, put on by Downtown Sound Entertainment. And there's a planetarium show here right on campus this upcoming Saturday too. So make sure you can check out all these events on the visitmarshallmn.com website. A lot of things going on this upcoming weekend. Next week, the Marshall Chamber is putting on, and the Marshall Downtown Business Association is putting on something called the Sparkle Downtown Holiday Hop. It's next Thursday the 14th through November 16th. This is kind of a kickoff to the shopping season, and it's formerly the Walkabout or the Shop About event. So this is something a lot of individuals who have been in Marshall should be familiar with. Tara, have you ever been part of that Shop About, the Walkabout?
I do. I used to work downtown, so I used to be part of MDBA, and yeah, it's just a great time, especially get together with your girlfriends or your family and your kids and really promote downtown. I love shopping downtown. Probably too much. Don't tell the husband, but yeah, right. I love it.
Oh, I will make sure he knows that, and make sure everybody, because it's important to shop Marshall.
It is.
The very, very popular traveling trivia is back at Fuzzy's in 2 Thursdays on November 21st, and that has been such a popular event. The first three or 4 months that we've had it at the golf course, we've had it at Brow, we've had it at Armada. Get a group of friends together, go do the trivia, and you'll be able to sit by them, and you'll be able to answer all these trivia questions as a team. And then finally, the last thing I was going to mention in November is the Marshall Area YMCA GobbleGobble. And we all overeat on Thanksgiving. We all do. And this is a good way to cut some of those calories right away in the morning. And it has been an annual event for 4, 5, 6 years now at the YMCA. My wife did the first Gobble Wobble. And on that particular one, the very first one is like negative 13 degrees.
I did that one.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah. We were sliding all over the place. It was a storm. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's that.
Frozen eyelashes. And
yes. Yep. So Gobble Wobble, mashed potato mile for those young ones. And absolutely go to the YMCA that morning before your Thanksgiving meal that day. And of course, November also marks the kickoff for winter sports in Marshall schools and SMSU. Tara, you've been a parent of a hockey player the last several years. Is that something that Mason is out of high school now?
Yes, I graduated last year. He's living in Alaska. So if you think you're cold, it's not that cold here.
Right. So do you still go to those kind of events? Does that entice you to go back to the arena?
I do. It's like a family. It's our home away from home. We'll probably never not go. I still have a younger son that plays, but I have many nieces and nephews, and I still have a nephew on the high school team. So for sure, we'll go to all those still. Sure. Yeah.
Of course, I have to mention a couple of the chamber events that we have going on this month. It's going to be highlighted on November 26th. It's for our egg business group that. And I have somebody by the name of Tamara Nelson, and she's the executive director with Agri-Growth out of St. Paul. And so she'll be coming down to talk about some trade policy, biotechnology, and what agrogrowth does for the farm industry in general. So we have 6 events, which is a pretty big amount for any month, but especially a holiday month. So be checking out our website, www.marshallmn.org. The other event I wanted to kind of highlight was our Young Professionals event on November 19th. We have a presentation on the census, and that's going to be a big topic in 2020 is the census and how important it is that everybody gets involved with that. There's there's a big trickle down effect when it comes to having accurate numbers for the census. And as I mentioned earlier, our Women's Connect group will be decorating the park over at Indy Pence Park for the Light Up the Night event. With that, appreciate you watching the November episode of Community Connect, once again brought by the Marshall Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.